Hello, guys. Good day to you all. Welcome to today's lesson. We'll be treating English language. The topic will be sentences. All right. In this topic, we're going to be learning how to build strong and correct sentences. Well, you all know that our daily life has to do is all about sentences and structures, how we set our English right, and our spoken words and written also. So it matters if you are being able to identify errors and also speak correctly, correct good English. All right. So we are going to learn how to do that on this, just a brief one. Okay, so let's see. First of all, we need to understand what sentences or sentence means, right? Because we make sentences, even while I'm speaking to you right now, I'm making a lot of sentences. Okay, and how to understand sentences, we are going to see, we are going to look at that. Now, a sentence is a group of words, okay, that makes sense and expresses a complete thought. Now, it says it's a group of words. It's not just one word or two words, okay? It's a group of words that makes sense and expresses a complete thought. It's not just bringing two, three, four, five words together and you've said you've made a sentence. It has to make sense and express a complete thought. Okay? And there are different forms of sentences, different examples which we make sentences. It could be in the form of a statement, it could be in the form of of a question, it could be in the form of an exclamation. Just sentences it matters anyway. If you're able to put it right, you will get it right. So now let's look at some examples of the kind of correct sentences and incorrect. Now, taking a look at these examples here, we have the dog is running fast. The dog is running fast. Now, as you can see, it is a complete sentence and which makes sense. Okay, and it has perfect thoughts for it. It makes complete sense. All right. Now, look at the second sentence there. Running fast. What does that actually mean? You don't really know what does running fast mean. Sometimes I hear some learners who just make a complete sentence and they'll be like, "Ah, what do you mean by that? Make a complete sentence so I can get what you're saying, you know?" Or well, they need to learn also, just as you're all learning here too. So now let's see some things. Now here we'll be looking at the parts of a sentence. All right. Note that there are two important parts of a sentence. Just said there are two important parts of a sentence. The first is the subject and the second is the predicate. The first is the subject and the second is the predicate. Now, the subject is talking about what or who or when the sentence is, or sorry, what or who the sentence is about. What are you talking about? That is how you identify the subject in your sentence. What are you talking about or who do you talk about, please? Those are ways of identifying a complete sentence on what is talking about. The subject, knowing what the subject of the sentence is about. Now, moving forward to the predicate, tells us what the subject is doing. Yeah, we can say this as the verb, which is the action word, or the doing word, just as our primary school definition would tell us. The predicate tells us what the subject is actually doing. Okay, so now let's look at some examples on that is the cat sleeps on the mat. The cat sleeps on the mat. Now, if you take a look at this, we first of all make mention that there are two parts of the sentence, which is the subject and the predicate. Here, the cat seems to be the subject, sleeps on the mat seems to be the predicate. So, moving forward, we get to understand that we are describing something that is actually doing what? Something. What is that something that is doing something? The cat is actually the subject that is doing something else. What is it doing? What does it do? And where is it doing it? It sleeps is what it's doing. Where? On the mat. If you take a good look at this, you'll discover that it has some questions to answer. Now, there are types of sentences which we get to, you know, get to see, all right? And we make use of these types of sentences when we are talking, but we don't know that these are the types of sentences we're actually using. Now, there are four types of sentences, four good types of sentences. which are the first is the declarative sentences. The declarative sentence, all right? This is just like a plain statement that is just being made, like personal information. It's just being made like that, just plain text, plain sentence, okay, which tells us what something. For instance, the example here we're saying is the sun is shining. The sun is shining. It's just a statement that is just being made. Okay. Now let's see. The second one is the interrogative sentence. This one has to do with questions. Right. The interrogative is a question sentence. It has to do, I believe, coming up to this level, we've heard about the question tags that has to do with that's the WH questions, rather, not question tags. The WH questions, which are who, when, what, where, why, and including how. So these questions, this interrogative sentence gets to answer the question. Okay. So who are you, or what is this, or where is my pen? So now let's be looking at an example here. All right. The next type of the sentence is the imperative sentence, which gives command. Others might call this a command sentence. Okay. This has to do with command. All right. Shut that door. It's a command sentence. Shut that door. Okay. This has to do with command, passing out an instruction in kind of an harsh way. Okay. By giving out a forceful information or a forceful order. Now, the last one is the exclamatory. This has to do with feelings, probably the sad feeling or the happy feeling. That's the excitement. All right. Wow, that was amazing. Okay, that's a happy feeling. I deal with happiness. I'm done with sadness. All right. So let's move on. Sentence structure. Yes, this is another form of sentence. The structures of sentences. We make use of sentences every day in our spoken English, like I said, and in writing. Sentences can be categorized into two major structures. Okay, we have the simple and the complex, but actually we have three, which the third one is the compound sentence, which is the compound sentence. But I just said we have two major ones. The third one is also part of it, but it's not the major because we have the simple and the complex. Now let's look at what the simple sentence is about as a structure. The simple sentence has to do with one idea, just making an idea. I like apples. Oh, that's nice. I like apples. Then the second, which is the compound sentence, like I said, we have two major, but there are three. Okay, the compound sentence has to do with two ideas joined together, which says, I like apples and I like oranges. I like apples and I like oranges. Okay, so now let's take a look at what the complex sentence is about. One main idea with extra details. It's just an idea, but an extra details. Because I was hungry, I ate an apple. Because I was hungry, I ate an apple. So that's the three structures of a sentence. Okay. So I believe we've gotten value for our time on this topic sentence, and this is just as a review of what we've talked so far from the beginning to this point. Just to remind us that a sentence must have a subject and a predicate. Note, if any sentence has been made does not have a subject, the sentence isn't complete. Neither, if it doesn't have a predicate, the sentence isn't complete as well. So it must always have the subject and the predicate. And for you to know that there are four types of sentences, which are the simple sentence, the compound sentence, sorry, the declarative sentence rather, the interrogative sentence, the imperative, and the exclamatory sentences. These are the four types of sentences. Then they are structured into three, which are the compound, the complex, and the simple, or the simple, compound, and the complex, whichever way you want to put it. So sentence structure helps make writing clear. So I hope you've gotten value for your time today. If you have any questions on sentence, you can easily click dial or click on the question side and send your questions down. Likely be answered. So have a wonderful day and thank you for your time.